Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about avian taxonomy in this video, and I'm going to use, and this is really focused on birds of the Pacific Northwest, but I'm using the authority, the taxonomic authority that I'm asking people to refer to when they're trying to understand their major groupings of birds all the way up to order. And so I'm using the AOS, the American Ornithological Society checklist of North and Middle American birds. And that is where you can find the definitive information for the taxonomic grouping that you're looking for. For whatever bird you're observing, you can find the order, the family, and the genus that it belongs to, as well as its scientific name and the correct English name with the correct capitalization and hyphenation and spelling. And so this is a really useful reference. It's checklist at aou.org. And there's lots of options for viewing this checklist. You'll see, I always recommend people look at the recommended citation, in part because it shows the members of the AOS checklist committee, but also it gives you information on the year, the last year that the checklist was updated. Now, there are updates being included pretty frequently, but they have a complete revision every set number of years of the entire checklist. And these revisions include, or are taking into account new phylogenetic information from research that is ongoing on bird taxonomic relationships, bird evolutionary relationships. So I'm going to, you can actually download an Excel file of the complete checklist, but I'm going to first just go to this section up here in on the left side of the menu that says open up the full list of bird species. So you can just see, for those of you newer to birds, you can have an idea by just looking at this list and scrolling down through it, all the numbers of bird species that we're talking about in North and Middle America. So I'm just going to scroll from class Aves, and you can see it's structured with the major taxonomic groupings, starting from class Aves down to order, family, genus, and then individual species. Okay, and so if we scroll down from class Aves, just sort of watch the screen. And we're covering a lot of birds here. Okay. As a major grouping, birds are the most species-rich terrestrial vertebrate on the planet, and there is no shortage of bird species in North and Middle America. So here we go. I'm going to the bottom. Okay, scrolling all the way back up. And so a lot of the groups that you will see here, with the exception of our very first order, Tinamniformes, you're going to be finding, you won't find those. Those are tinamous. Those are found more in southern latitudes, but up in the Pacific Northwest, most of the orders that you could scroll through here, you could find some representatives up in the Pacific Northwest of most of these orders. There may be only one or two, and for a few we might not have any, particularly on the west side of the Cascades. But for most of these groups, you can find a few. Especially if you're including going way out into the ocean waters and going into all the environments that you can find. So I'll talk more in another video about the actual orders of birds, chunk by chunk.